What's up, guys? Dr. Boyd here, and I have a special co-host that is leaving little feathers on me, bro. This is not professional when you do it. My co-host Chicken. You guys see him? Isn't he cute? He's good about half the time, is what I'd say. So if I keep him there, then I usually he stays quiet and he's pretty hidden too. But yeah, I just want to introduce you if you haven't met him before. So what's up, guys? Happy to have you here today. So wanted to talk to you a little bit about weight loss. Weight loss is one of those things that I'm super passionate about. I've shared with you my struggle, my journey. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. My entire life. It came from bad habits in childhood, basically self soothing habits as a kid to help make myself feel better. And fat, sugar, carbohydrates, they make you feel a whole lot better. And especially when you're an anxious, depressed little kid, it's very easy to become a fat kid, cramming in Doritos and gallons of Coca-Cola. That's what I did. That's what I did as I can remember back. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old is when that was, and that continued on through college, right? And then when stress came about, when I was finished medical school and became residency and all that, stressful time. Guess what? Those same bad habits came about and worsened, and actually worsened quite a bit. And so it went on for a good 30 something years. About 30 something years is I was struggled with my weight from the time I was a little kid. And it wasn't until I started cracking the code, not on what to eat, not on what not to eat, but rather the origin of my habits and why it was problematic. It's like looking at the surface of something and thinking that you understand everything that's going on when the problem is much, much deeper. And so I had to work from the inside out, actually getting to the root of the problem, going through childhood traumas and things like that in order to figure out why in the hell I had these bad habits that weren't serving me. That's the way to go about it. Now, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of time. And certainly we live in a society where we want results like now, like instantly. And on top of it, all those effects of the weight, the excess weight that's there, all of those excess effects are sitting and compounding, causing heart disease, increasing risk for diabetes. On top of it, if you're 35 or older, there's sarcopenia, muscle wasting that's going on. And so you combine all of those things together, and inevitably what happens is it gives this perfect storm for heart disease, cancers, stroke risk, etc. So it would behoove us to get weight off faster than not, and not in a crazy, sew your mouth closed diet kind of way, but rather in a very structured and appropriate way. And so what today I want to talk about is three simple ways via biooptimization that both men and women, these go for both men and women, that you can optimize weight loss via biooptimization. So first and foremost is a good quality diet and exercise program. Okay. Now, what do I mean by this? Man, there are so many programs that are out there, right? Where there's Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. I named some other ones. What's this one? That's Loom, something like that. There are so many programs that are out there. And if you actually stop and you look at the success of these programs, the ones that actually make the biggest difference for the longest period of time are ones that are not cutting out food groups. So there's plenty of folks that have done keto. I've done keto myself. And the problem with keto is, yeah, it works, but it's hard to stick to. And then if you look at all the data behind it, after about 6 months, it stops working. So it's a great way to drop a lot of weight fast. But at that 6 month mark, then people are like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I do now? And they'll either continue to do the keto, which isn't working any longer, and get frustrated and say, you know what, I'm going to set this down, and then they blow up. Or they just say, forget this, I'm going to have carbohydrates, and body shifts. And because they had the habit of the keto, which is no longer there, weight comes back on. So the program that number one that you want to be able to stick to is something that you can stick to. That's it. Something that you can stick to. And so usually what that comes down to is actually having something that is a very realistic, like a very realistic protocol within this protocol. I'm going to tell you straight up what it is. So you have 5 days where you're watching what you eat. And when I say watching what you eat, you're still having carbohydrates, you're still having fat and protein and all those things. You need all of those things, but you're watching your portion control and you're eating very clean. You're also eating 6 times a day so that way your metabolism is staying pretty steady. One of those days, day 6, you fast 24 hours. Now you may say, whoa, doc, 24 hours? Yeah, 24 hours. Why? Because it helps reset your metabolism, number one. It gives a tremendous amount of health benefits in the anti-aging, and it's pretty easy to do. So especially when you consider, hopefully 8 of those 24 hours you're sleeping anyway, then the rest of that time you're busy and doing stuff and everything. I usually will do my fast day on a day where I'm really busy or really need to focus, and guess what? I get a whole lot done, and I didn't have to waste any time like doing food preparation, so it works out great. Then day 7, my favorite day, cheat day. You eat whatever the hell you want. So if that means that you want to sit on the couch eating a box of Snicker bars all day long, great, do it. You earned it. But at the end of that day, you're back to it. And you're back to the grind, and you're keeping things in focus. That's how the diet program works. Like it's pretty darn simple. And the thing is that you can do it lifelong. Like once you get in the habit of that, that's a lifelong program, man. It's easy. Next part of it is exercise. Having a structured exercise program. There is this fallacy where somehow or another we've been taught through folks that want to sell us exercise equipment, calling out Peloton there. Which don't get me wrong, love Peloton, love their product, love the bike, the treadmill, love doing all that stuff, but not for more than about 20 minutes. It's all you need. Cardiovascular exercise is cardio. It's in the name. It's called cardio for a reason. It's cardiovascular exercise. It's good for your circulatory system. It's good to get the heart pumping, all that and everything. It is not a good method of weight loss. It's just not. Think about it. Do you realize how long you would have to be on a treadmill to be at enough of a caloric deficit to eat a Big Mac? You'd have to be on the treadmill for like 2 hours in order to work off a Big Mac. It doesn't make any sense. So cardio is not a method of weight loss. Muscle is. Think about how dense a muscle is. Our muscle looks like steak. I know that's kind of gross, but it's true. I've spent plenty of time in the gross anatomy lab, so I can tell you firsthand experience. Our muscle looks like steak. All right, that's what muscle fibers look like. But to paint that picture for you, it's like, in order to have the blood flow going through the capillaries, in order to have increased mass of the muscle, in order to fuel that muscle and so forth, all of that takes a higher metabolism. And so the more muscle mass that we have on the body, and I don't mean looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, I'm saying the more lean muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolism is going to run, even when you're sleeping. That's going to burn calories, which is going to decrease body fat. So if you want to decrease body fat, increase your muscle mass. That's it. So then the question becomes, okay, that sounds cool, doc, but how do I increase muscle mass? For both men and women, testosterone is the most potent way to go about it. There's other ways to do it, but testosterone is always going to be number one, especially for men. Why? Because men, we carry more muscle mass anyway, and we can take advantage of that and increase muscle mass using testosterone. The crazy thing is 35% of men actually have a low testosterone number and have so for quite some time. So it's one of the easiest ways to maximize that is by supplementing it. It's pretty safe as long as it's done appropriately under a doctor. I do not recommend going to these pop-up testosterone clinics that put everybody on the same damn regimen. It's just ridiculous. But if you have a personalized regimen, then it works really, really nicely. Second thing, peptide therapy. So particularly GnRH peptide. GnRH peptide is a method of increasing growth hormone, and it increases growth hormone just a little bit so that way you can make sure that muscle mass gets to where it needs to be. Again, is to be doctor supervised, and to do it appropriately, then you combine it, of course, with a diet and exercise regimen. The third way, and this is really for folks who need to lose 15% of their body mass, 15, 1-5. There's a new drug that's out, and it's in very, very limited quantity. There's only a certain number of doctors, handful, that can get it throughout the country. I'm one of them. I partner with a compounding pharmacy that allows that. And it works really, really well. You just have to watch it very, very closely. It's called Semiglutenite B12. Semiglutenite it was discovered as a diabetes medicine, and that was the groundwork behind it for that, right? But one of the side effects that they found with this, it did a great job regulating blood sugars for diabetes, but one of the other side effects was that they found this 15% body mass deficit that would occur. So, like, let's put this in perspective. So that means if it's a person who weighs 250 pounds, you're looking at about a 30-pound weight loss just by using the medication. Now, of course, I would say diet and exercise and everything as well, right? So then it'd be compounded even more. But this is one of the fastest ways to get to goal. And as we're getting you to goal, we're also establishing those good habits that are needed, so that way, once you get to goal, you have the habits to carry through. And that's how the weight stays off and you don't go backwards. So this isn't a drug that you use like lifelong. This is something that you use, get to goal. Now, once you're at goal, okay, cool. Now we're going to put these habits in place and can continue those habits throughout so that you can maintain that. It is so freaking exciting. There's not many things, guys, that in medicine that come about that are revolutionary. This is one of them. It's the articles in New England Journal of Medicine. I can put the link below if you want to see it. But it's absolutely revolutionary, and it's pretty limited quantity too. So that's what I wanted to talk with you about today, is that if you're in this place where you're struggling with your weight, I know I was for such a long time, know that there are options, especially now more than ever. When you start walking down the biooptimization road, then things can really, really change quite a bit. So don't let that hold you back. You know, I remember, you know, times when I was really struggling with my weight where I felt alone and unhappy and depressed, and you know, it's a sad place to be. So know that you're not alone. Know that the struggle is a real thing. It's real for most people. The sad truth is that the majority of people in the United States aren't going to really do anything about it. They're just going to let it be. They're going to continue to get more drugs prescribed to them instead of taking a proactive approach and making things happen for themselves. Don't be one of those folks. You're in this group for a reason. You're in this group because you decided that you wanted to take a step forward, that you decided that you wanted to not be held back, that you decided that convention was not for you. And I'm honored to have you here. If you want to learn more, shoot me a direct message. Happy to give you a free consultation and talk to you more about this, something I'm obviously very passionate about. And of course, I want the best for you. That's what I got for you today, guys. Remember, health is wealth. Invest in yourself and have a fantastic day.